Let's redo a terrarium! Hello and welcome back to Incredible Inverts and Other Animals with me, Phil. Now today I'm going to be redoing an Exoterra terrarium. I've had this sitting around a while. Got planted ages ago, never put anything in it. And then I kind of neglected it before putting anything in it. And so needed to redo it. And so this is what this video is. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay guys, so we're going to be redoing this Exoterra terrarium. And see, it's kind of not looking all that great. So I originally planted this up a few years ago actually. Before I even started my channel. I've actually yet to ever put anything animal wise in here. So only ever just been plants. Originally it was going to be for geckos as well, and there's a bit of a cutout in the side background, basically for a feeding ledge. But then I decided not to actually keep any geckos in here, so it needs a redo. So we're going to take out this wool bowl that's never actually been filled up. We're going to take out the branches, and then basically rip all the plants out, see what ones I can save, you know, what's got kind of leggy and stuff. Take out most of the substrate as well. So just removing the branches first, seeing what's what in here. So yeah, basically it's just over time, as you can see, it's just not looking all that great. And so at one point it looked really, or for me I thought it did look really nice. And then actually I moved the tank across so that basically I could see it then from my sofa. It's also something I can, you know, look at. So I do want it to look nice as something, you know, as a bit of a focal point for me to look at when I'm sitting down. So, but yeah, over time it's just, yeah, it basically got a bit neglected. So some of these plants have better roots on than I thought. Some are just cuttings I end up just plonking in, just to see if they would take at some point, just, you know, to try and help and make it better. But you know what, time was time to, yeah, rip it all out and kind of start again, apart from the background. So the background on this, in case you're not familiar, this is tree fern panels. So I got those originally from Buzzard Reptiles. And so there's some like 3 packs of tree fern panels on here. And then what I've done actually was with silicone down the middle of them where they join, is then put tree fern substrate in just to blend it all in, kind of thing. This is the big plant. It's actually had a lot more roots on than I thought it would, considering it's not looking the healthiest. And so there was actually quite a big root ball there, quite a lot of roots. Basically this Caliphy is not looking all that great, but I'm going to try and save it. And I can either just have it as a houseplant or use it for something else. So, and then I think the last one to come out is this Ficus Pumila, which again just got a bit wild, a bit leggy. It did go completely wild in here at one point, and so I was constantly needing sort of trimming back when I remembered, and then at some point it kind of just started looking like it was dying a little bit. But again, actually lots of roots on it, so again it's something that potentially you know, might be able to sort of save, give it a bit of a trim up and stuff in there, and we'll see. But I do have another one of these going, because I do like these plants. Actually, they work really well in terrariums. So you know, I think some of the roots potentially down to the mesh dividing the drainage layer from the substrate. So I want to be careful ripping this up that I don't rip up all that. So you know, if I can avoid redoing that, then that'd be nice. So so that's pretty much all the plants taken out, and so now it's just a case of, yeah, scooping up this substrate. And so it's probably all got, you know, kind of spent and stuff. There's probably not a lot necessarily left in it for the plants, and so hence why perhaps, you know, it might be a reason why they're not doing so well, because the substrate is still actually fairly moist. So so I don't think it was a fact of like underwatering or anything like that. So all substrate is pretty much out. I've left some charcoal, so there's some, what was a biochar down there on the mesh. So that's just a weed membrane. So I'm separating that, so I left that there, and then so So substrate going to be using is the MK Exotics Jungle Den and 2 bags of their Grubs Den. So it is part of the package deal that I've got with MK. I've never used these ones before, so we're going to see what they're like. So first off, going to go in with some of the Jungle Den. So this is a bit of a mix to put in. Once I get the bag open. So there we go. So first impressions, actually, I really like this substrate. It's a nice little mix. It smells quite nice, which is always good. You don't want a horrible smelling substrate. So I'm going to put about sort of half a bag in initially. Spread that around. I can see it's kind of a bit of a nice mix of various components into it. So, and then I'm going to go in with the first lot of Grubs Den. So this is their substrate that they MK produce for things like beetle larvae and millipedes and stuff. So it's got sort of organic matter in it and wood. So, and as I'm thinking about doing this as a mixed invert sort of display. So I might be putting millipedes and potentially beetles in and stuff. So yeah, sort of thought we'll go with some of this to add in. So in with a whole bag, give it a bit of a mix. No, don't necessarily need to mix it really well, because you're going to be covering it all over, and if I do put things like millipedes and beetles or any larvae in there, they're going to mix it up anyway. But give it a bit of a mix, and then back in with the Jungle Den. So a little bit more of that. I want to save some of it just to sort of top it all off kind of thing. And then I'm going to go in with the second bag of the Grubs Den. So again, breaking it up, but I kind of wondered if I need the whole bag, but absolutely I did. So yeah, for this size extra, that's 45 by 45, and then the things like 60 tall. Yeah, 1 bag of their Jungle Den and 2 bags of their Grubs Den actually works pretty much perfectly for this size. So just topping it off then with the final lot of the Jungle, of which again just makes it look quite nice, just as bare substrate. So I'm going to go in with the plants. So again, these are all from MK Exotics, all these new plants that are going in. And if you go down into the description of this video, there is a discount code there for their website, which will get you 15% off any order over £25. So yeah, sticking the plants in. So yeah, just same amount of pots, basically teasing the roots a little bit, digging the hole and sticking the plant in. Nice and simple. So it really doesn't have to be complicated. I think sometimes a lot of people kind of get a little bit hooked up when it comes to doing planted enclosures, in thinking that it's really difficult. It really doesn't have to be. So I'm going to go in then with this golden Pothos. Basically doing exactly the same, just going in the opposite corner. So, and then just put substrate back around it, press it in. So to make sure it's all good. So once they're in, again, just tipping out any substrate, and these are literally just going in as they are. So I'm going to stick this bit of cork back in here as just a adds a nice bit of texture, a bit of different height, and so just adds more interest into the terrarium. Going to stick the cork branches back in as well. Kind of get an idea of where I want them to be. So again, to give that height. Now things like the golden Pothos and some of the other plants will climb up at the background, potentially climb around the branches and stuff. So eventually we'll cover sort of most of the background. Going to go to the Scandens in. So I actually got this. This came from MK Exotics as well, but from a different show. Most of these plants got them at the Manchester show, but this one I actually got at the Western Invert show in Bristol. And then yeah, got it for this thing, just hadn't put it in yet, so that's now going in. Going in with this little one, kind of in the middle, for it to kind of spread around, and create some interest, hopefully. So it's a mixture of large leafed and sort of small leaf plants. And we want sort of things that trail, things that climb, as well as things that don't. And then again, another ficus Primula Sunny White. This will climb all up the background, trail around the place. Really great plant for planted enclosures. So I can't go wrong with a ficus Primula in my opinion. And pretty much all these plants are really good in planted enclosures, and then a good old Photonia, nice red Photonia, just so it's not all green in here, just as that splash of colour into here. So yeah, really like any kind of Photonia or sort of similar plants, really go well. And then I'm going to go in with the cushion moss that again got from MK Exotics. So most is going to go across the front, just to hide up a lot of the substrate. I'm going to keep a lot of the back kind of clear. Again, if we're going to put millipedes and things like that in here, they're going to want to be able to get through and bury themselves. Now the back of the enclosure, you can't, it's difficult to see unless you really go up close. So I want to keep the moss towards the front where I can, and then just allow the plants to kind of cover up the back of it. And so yeah, the front of it then is all will eventually gets all covered up. So just placing this in, just pressing it into the substrate just a little bit. No, and hopefully this will take quite nicely into here. Hopefully, so I just want to keep it, nice and humid. Spray it down every now and then, and something that hopefully should be all good. Now, I'm referring to this as live planted. It's not bioactive. I will be adding things like springtails and isopods into here, but that won't necessarily make it bioactive. It, again, just make it live planted, and that's what I refer to these enclosures as. And so here is this, and I'm going to just add in some other bits of decor. So I've got this really large seed pod. Actually, I've had this a while. Again, all due to go into this enclosure because it's the only one I've got really that's tall enough for it. Again, just add some different textures, something different to look at. We've got a dried banana stem as well. I'm going to put this in here too. Again, helps create that height because it is a nice tall enclosure. So I'm getting different textures as well. So again, create some different interest for you to look at. So your eyes always looking at something else. And going on this big seed pod. So just working out whereabouts to put it. And a dried lotus flower as well. Again, kind of just figuring out whereabouts I perhaps want that. And then change the mind and put the big seed pod there and the lotus pod elsewhere. So yeah, seed pod's going to go into that bit. I may move them around again, and then lotus pod down there. And yeah, when I put the isopods in, they'll probably end up hide. A few of them will hide in that lotus flower most probably. Then going in with some small seed pods as well, just dotted around. Now, there's no point necessarily putting a load where I can't see them, so just put them mainly at the front of the enclosure. Look, again, I say I'm leaving the back fairly bare in between the plants, so that again things can bury themselves if they so choose. So here we go. Here's a bit of an overview of what it then looks like. As I still need to add in things like isopods and springtails, and then think about what I'm going to put in here. Okay guys, so that was my redoing, kind of refreshing of a Exoterra terrarium. Live planted, all the plants are from MK Exotics Horticultural Supplies. Use the code INCREDIBLE15 for 15% off any order over £25 from their website. So, and that's on plants, substrates, anything like that. So yeah, all the substrate in there again used as from MK Exotics as well. The moss was from them too. The only bits really in there not from them is the cork branches that I already had, and the sort of bits of deck or the seed pods and stuff, which I believe I got from BioViv a while ago, and some of them just had laying around that. Some of them were destined to go in there, just hadn't put them in there. So guys, what do you guys think? If you did like this video, please do give a thumbs up. Pop some comments down below. It is easy to do. It's really not that difficult, and you can make a really nice looking enclosure. Or I think a really nice looking enclosure. Relatively simple. This was just simple. All the plants just planted straight into the substrate, and so kind of packed it out, filled a bit of moss. Might add some more things in there. Going to let it settle in before really adding anything living into that. I'm thinking mixed inverts, so maybe millipedes, maybe beetles, maybe some other things living in there with it. But I want it to settle in first a little bit. Going to add springtails and isopods as well. So, yeah guys, please do go down into the description, check out all my social media links. So TikTok, Instagram, got the affiliation link with the spider shop. And and also hopefully there'll be the affiliation link with MK Exotics horticultural supplies as well. So both of those, basically do your shopping, I get a little bit of commission at no extra cost to you. Also remember the discount code for MK Exotics, Incredible15. So, and yeah, there's also my merch store and my Patreon if that's something that interests you as well. And if you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell for notifications. That's the best way that you can support the channel, is subscribing, interacting and sharing the content. That would be amazing. Until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and keep rocking.